The cycle sustains us. The email arrived on a Monday morning, the subject line cheerful in a way that grated against my pre-coffee nerves. Congratulations on joining the Auratech Solutions family. I stared at the screen, bleary-eyed, the words swimming into focus. Auratech. That was the company I'd applied to on a whim during a desperate flurry of job applications a month ago. I barely remembered what they did, something about streamlining customer experiences through cutting-edge AI. It sounded lofty and vague, but their salary offer was well above anything else I'd seen. When I opened the email, the body was written in a similarly saccharine tone. Welcome aboard, Emily Grayson. We're thrilled to have you as part of the Auratech family. Your journey starts tomorrow at our headquarters, located at 1460 Parkview Avenue. Please arrive at 8 a.m. sharp. Remember, at Auratech, we're not just a company. We're a way forward. The tagline made me cringe, but I couldn't afford to be picky. Rent was due in 2 weeks, and my savings account had been circling the drain for months. I sighed, closed my laptop, and resolved to make a decent first impression. The building at 1460 Parkview Avenue was not what I expected. For a company that touted its cutting-edge technology, the exterior was unassuming, almost archaic. A nondescript gray facade stretched upward, windowless except for the glass doors bearing the Auratech logo, a stylized Ouroboros, a snake devouring its own tail. Inside, the lobby was spotless and sterile, bathed in cold fluorescent light. A receptionist, or at least, I thought it was a receptionist, sat behind a glossy white desk. She wore a headset and didn't look up as I approached. Hi, I'm Emily Grayson, I said, forcing a smile. I'm starting today? The woman's lips didn't move, but her voice emerged, mechanical and flat, from a hidden speaker. Please proceed to the elevator. Floor B4. Thanks. I muttered, but she'd already returned to staring at the blank wall ahead of her. The elevator was just as unsettling, mirror-polished walls and an unsettling absence of buttons. As soon as I stepped in, the doors slid shut, and the floor lurched downward. My stomach did a somersault as the digital display blinked, B1, B2, B3, B4. A chime echoed, and the doors opened with a hiss. The lower level was dimly lit, a stark contrast to the sterile brightness upstairs. Rows of cubicles stretched into the distance, a maze of beige walls and flickering monitors. The air smelled faintly of ozone and something else I couldn't place, something sharp and metallic. A man in a charcoal suit appeared seemingly out of nowhere, his smile unnervingly wide. Emily Grayson. Welcome to Auratech. Hi, I said, gripping my bag tightly. Nice to meet you. I'm Mr. Holt, your onboarding coordinator. Follow me, please. He turned briskly, and I hurried to keep up as he navigated the labyrinth of cubicles. Employees sat silently at their desks, their faces pale and drawn in the faint glow of their screens. Nobody looked up as we passed. Holt led me to a small, windowless room. A single desk and chair occupied the center, flanked by a towering filing cabinet and a monitor with an odd, circular logo pulsing faintly on its screen. This will be your workspace, Holt announced. Please take a seat. Orientation begins now. I lowered myself into the chair as the monitor flickered to life, displaying a series of bullet points in an overly friendly font. At Auratech, your work is your purpose. Compliance ensures harmony. Harmony ensures progress. Unauthorized communication is strictly prohibited. Before I could fully process the words, the screen went blank again. Holt handed me a thick binder labeled Employee Manual, Level 1. "Read this thoroughly," he instructed. "You'll be tested." "Tested? On what?" Holt's smile didn't waver. "On the manual, of course. Understanding is key to integration. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have other matters to attend to. Someone will check on you shortly." Before I could ask another question, he was gone, the door clicking shut behind him. I stared at the binder, its cover embossed with the Ouroboros logo, and felt a strange unease settle in my chest. The air in the room felt heavier now. Something about this place, the silence, the faceless workers, the strange rules, gnawed at the edges of my nerves. But I needed this job. I couldn't afford to screw it up. I opened the binder. Hours passed, or at least I thought they did. There were no clocks, and my phone had been confiscated at the security checkpoint. The manual was dense, full of jargon and cryptic diagrams. Phrases like operational alignment and synergistic compliance appeared over and over, their meanings deliberately obfuscated. Every few pages, the Ouroboros logo reappeared, accompanied by phrases like "the cycle sustains us" or "endlessness is efficiency." The more I read, the more the words seemed to shift on the page, as if they were alive, writhing beneath my gaze. My head ached, and my vision blurred. A knock at the door startled me. A woman stepped in, her features oddly symmetrical, almost uncanny. She placed a tray on the desk, a single protein bar and a bottle of water labeled simply "Sustenance." "Welcome," she said in the same mechanical tone I'd heard from the receptionist. Then she left, closing the door behind her. I didn't eat the bar. Something about the word "sustenance" made my stomach turn. Instead, I resumed reading, each page more inscrutable than the last. When the door finally opened again, Mr. Holt returned, his expression unchanged. "How are you finding the material?" "It's dense," I admitted. "Is it all necessary?" His smile widened, stretching too far. "Understanding is paramount, Emily. You'll find that adherence to the manual ensures a seamless experience at Oratech." I wanted to ask what that meant, but the words caught in my throat. Something told me I didn't want to know. By the time I was escorted back to the elevator, the building felt different. The fluorescent lights buzzed louder, the air thicker with that sharp, metallic tang that clung to my throat. Employees still sat at their desks, but their movements were wrong. Stiff, mechanical. Like mannequins locked into an endless, repetitive dance. My chest tightened with the sense that something unseen was watching me, cataloging every step I took. The silence seemed alive, pressing against my ears, demanding my compliance. As the elevator doors slid shut, I caught a glimpse of one worker turning toward me. Her eyes locked onto mine, wide and unblinking. Her lips moved soundlessly, forming a single word, "Run." My breath caught in my throat, and I pressed myself against the elevator wall as if the distance could shield me from the warning. The word reverberated in my mind, sharp and urgent, but it clashed with the heavier weight of denial. Was she trying to warn me? Or was this some bizarre corporate test? By the time the elevator began its ascent, I was gripping the binder so tightly that my knuckles ached, the Ouroboros emblem staring back at me like it knew something I didn't. I tried to convince myself it was nothing, just the paranoia of a long day. But deep down, I felt it, the faint, grinding hum of the machinery far below, echoing like a heartbeat through the walls. The elevator began its ascent. I clutched the binder tightly, my heart pounding. Somewhere far below, I thought I heard the faint hum of machinery growing louder, a low, grinding sound that set my teeth on edge. Tomorrow would be my second day, and the thought clawed at the edges of my sanity. The elevator ride up was a blur. I barely noticed when the doors opened onto the sterile lobby. The receptionist was still there, her gaze fixed forward, as if she hadn't moved an inch all day. I hurried past her, resisting the urge to look back, and stepped out into the cool night air. The city felt different. The usual hum of traffic and distant chatter seemed muffled, as if the world had receded into itself. I kept my head down on the bus ride home, clutching the binder like a shield. The Ouroboros emblem gleamed faintly under the flickering fluorescent lights, a quiet reminder of the machine I'd stepped into. When I finally reached my apartment, I locked the door behind me and leaned against it, my heart racing. The word run echoed in my mind, sharp and insistent. But where could I run? I stared at the binder on my kitchen table for what felt like hours, its presence as oppressive as the air in the Oratech building. Sleep didn't come easily. Every creak of the floorboards, every distant car horn felt like a warning. And when I finally drifted off, my dreams were filled with pulsing lights and the faint, grinding hum of machinery growing louder, like a heartbeat. Beneath my feet,